Welcome to class, beautiful people. My name is Justice, and this is the Honest Academy. Welcome once again. So, in this class, we're going to be discussing, or we're going to be having the tutorial on how to cut the dress you saw on the thumbnail. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, please try and do so, and stay tuned to the end to get the best part of it. So because I do not have the intention of wearing this gown and the fabric to make it at the moment, but I decided to use this paper to illustrate to us how we are going to cut this. So this is assumed to be my fabric, and I'm going to fold it into two like this and into two again to get a 360-degree circle, right? A full circle, because the gown is a full circle with ruffle at the end of it and the belt at the neck line, and it has a slit at the back. Okay, so as I fold my fabric into four this way, I assume that this is my shoulder line, right? So on this shoulder line, I'm going to measure my neck width. Okay, I'm going to measure 3 inches for my neck width. Even though the center neckline is quite small, we want to get the actual neck before we do the connection that we need. And then to the depth of the neckline, I'm also going to be using 3 inches, so that when you connect the belt, it's just going to be a high neck. Okay, so I'm using a basic neckline of 3 by 3 for the front. Now the front is supposed to be deeper than the back, so at the back I'm going to take just 1 inch. All right, looking at the tape, you might not be getting the same measurements that I'm calling out because I'm using a miniature dress form and a paper also. But if this is to be done on a normal fabric, this is just how I'm going to do it. All right, so while so I'm going cutting, to we're be going to cutting cut the the back back first first. before trimming off the front separately. Now before we go ahead, I'm going to take the full length of the gown. Now remember that the gown has an attachment of ruffle, so we're going to minus the length of the ruffle. Whatever remains, we'll use it to have the length of our gown. So I assume that I'm going to use all of this for the length of the gown before the ruffle. So I have 9.75. So I'm going to rotate my tape to 9.75 this way, so that I will get a full circle complete at the hemline. All right, so I'm going to rotate it this way. Now whatever you see me doing on this paper is exactly what you're going to be doing on your fabric. The difference is that your measurements are not going to be the same as mine. You're going to change the measurements that you're going to have. So I will align them this way, like this. Okay, so the front and the back length is just the same, and I'm going to be cutting it like this, right? So like I said, I'm going to cut the front neckline before we get to the shoulders, to the armhole rather. So here I have this, like so. So once I have this, I'm going to open it up. This is the front and this is the back, this is the side. So I'm going to keep it this way. You can see this is the back neckline and this is the front neckline. So I'm going to deepen the front neckline more by cutting it more. Okay, so this is what I have, the front here and the back here. Now the next thing we're going to do, you can see that their neck depths are no longer the same. So the next thing we're going to do is to locate the length of our armhole. Now the length of the armhole is quite deep. You have to determine the length of the armhole that you want. So here I'm going to be using about 3 inches, Okay, so this is where the armhole is going to be. Now the neck width for this garment, the actual neck width is quite at the front. It did not extend toward the side of the shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to determine the size of the neck that the way I want it to, where I want it to stop in front, and connect from there to my armhole. The armhole also extends deeper into towards the bust area, like the side of the bust is kind of showing. So what I'm going to do is to mark the width that I actually want. Here I'm going to be using 1 inch, 1 inch, and from this 1 inch now, I'm going to connect to the armhole area. So I'm going to have it this way, like so, right? And I'll cut it out. Can see the way it is. Now this part is the sides, the armhole area, and this is the center area, the center front and the center back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is to slit the back. You can see the way it is. This is the armhole and this is the front and the back. Now the back has a slit which allows us to wear it, and the slit is quite deep. It's not just a slit, it was actually a small cutout that it has at the back. So I'm going to determine what I'm going to cut out and where the length of the cutout is going to stop. So I'm going to, it's actually a deep cut, so I'm keeping it, should be somewhere below the bust line, depending on where you want it to stop though. So I'm going to go a bit deep into the neckline, like 0.25, using the measurements that I have here, and I'm going to connect it on a straight line where it's going to stop, like so. I wish I have fabric for this. I would have demonstrated it more and show us the outcome. So I'm going to cut it from here. All right, so this is the slit that we have at the back. Just have to make it straight. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing, this is the back and this is the front. The next thing we're going to be doing is to cut a long strap which are going to fix to this too. The long strap is actually what is going to be holding them together, because the shoulders are not going to be meeting together anymore. So we're going to fix this long strap to the front and connect it to the back. So here I have this is the ruffle that is going to be attached to the lower part. Now this ruffle is cut from having a 360-degree like this. Okay, so it's just a circle that is cut at the lower part. As much as possible you can be attaching so that until it goes around the base of the fabric. And this is just a long strap, as long as you want it, which is going to be sewn to the neckline this way. Now this is going to be attached using the size of your neck measurements. Okay, you can see that in between here there is nothing attached to it, so you're going to use the size of your measurement as you're attaching this. So because if you bring the front and the back together, it's no longer going to be your size. Okay, so you're going to put it in such a way that it has some gap, that it's going to size your neckline, and whatever remains you can tie it at the back. So you can see the way it is. This is the collar or the strap that I attached. This is the neckline, okay, as deep as you want it, and this is the back. We're just going to tie this at the back, and then the ruffle, we're just going to sew it until this is not gathered. It's not gathered, so you're just going to cut what will be the size of the hemline, okay, and then attach it right round. So like I was saying, if you put the two back and front together, it's not going to size you, so you're going to keep space here, which will be the size of your neck measurement. You can see that the front is just at the front. It did not get towards the shoulders. Okay, so I hope this helps someone, and I hope that as you try it, you're going to have a positive result. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.